Before the sun even hints at the horizon, the barracks is already awake. The first sound isn't a bugle or a shouted order, but the soft chorus of alarms vibrating under thin pillows. In a dorm room lined with metal bunks, a young private first class of the People's Liberation Army throws back his blanket, feet hitting the polished concrete floor in one practiced motion. There is no hesitation. In this world, the day starts the instant. The clock strikes 5:30. He folds his quilt into the famous tofu block rectangle in under a minute, fingers pressing sharp corners into the green fabric. Around him, the rest of the squad is doing the same, a silent race against the standard everyone has memorized. Beds become perfect geometric shapes. Slippers align under bunks as if pulled by a magnet. Outside, the cold morning air seeps in through cracked windows, but inside the room, there is only the rustle of fabric and the quick breathing of 20 men trying not to be the last one ready. Inspection comes next, and it is ruthless in its detail. A squad leader in his mid-20s moves down the line, eyes flicking from boots to belts to haircuts. A missed thread, a speck of dust on a locker handle, a quilt corner 2 centimeters off, any of it can cost the entire room its daily points. In this system, discipline isn't a slogan painted on a wall. It is measured in check marks and demerits, in posted rankings that everyone can see. Our young soldier stands at attention, heart drumming a quick rhythm as the clipboard pauses in front of his bed. Morning physical training starts as the sky shifts from black to deep blue. The company forms up in the courtyard, rows snapping into place with a familiar command. In the thin light, the PLA uniform is a muted green, but the red flag at the front of the formation burns brightly even before the sun hits it. They begin with stretches, arm swings cutting clean lines through the air, then drop for push-ups on the cold ground. Breath turns to white clouds. Boots thud in unison as they move into running drills. The pace isn't designed for comfort. It is designed to erase the distance between individuals until one rhythm controls every step. Back in the canteen, breakfast is loud and fast. Stainless steel trays slide along rails. Ladles slap congee, steamed buns, and pickled vegetables into compartments with practiced speed. The food is simple, heavy on carbohydrates, meant to fuel hours of training rather than please a gourmet palate. Our soldier sits with his squad, back straight even off duty, chopsticks moving quickly. Conversation is light but cautious. Jokes are shared, hometowns compared, rumors about upcoming field exercises traded in low voices. Phones are checked briefly, if allowed that day, for messages from parents or a girlfriend hundreds of kilometers away. The outside world feels both close and impossibly distant, framed by regulations and by the unspoken understanding that life in uniform runs on a different clock. Classes follow, held in a bare room with posters outlining core values and operational procedures. 1 hour might be devoted to political education, where an instructor speaks about history, national rejuvenation, and the responsibilities of a soldier in modern China. Another hour shifts to technical training, equipment maintenance, communications protocols, first aid. Our private takes careful notes, not because he expects every detail to matter today, but because experience has already taught him that exams, inspections, and sudden questions from superiors can arrive without warning. The mental discipline demanded here mirrors the physical demands outside: focus, repetition, and the expectation that personal opinions remain secondary to collective goals. By midday, the sun is high and field training begins. Today it's small unit tactics on a dusty training ground outside the base. Helmets go on, rifles are checked. And within minutes, the company is moving in staggered lines, practicing bounds and cover. Instructors watch from the sidelines, radios crackling as they call out simulated artillery or enemy positions. Our soldier dives behind a low berm on command, feeling the familiar weight of his weapon against his shoulder, the grit of sand against his palms. The scenarios change: urban assaults, mountain movements, river crossings, but the underlying purpose remains constant: react faster, move cleaner, think as a unit rather than as scattered individuals. Lunch is shorter than breakfast and even more utilitarian. Sweat dries in the canteen's fluorescent light as trays are emptied and returned. There might be a few minutes afterward to rest on bunks. Eyes closed, boots still on, before the afternoon brings weapons cleaning or guard duty. On guard, hours stretch. Our private stands at his post near the gate, watching vehicles enter and leave, checking documents with a practiced politeness that never quite relaxes. The repetition can be numbing, but the expectation is clear. Vigilance cannot slip, whether it's the first hour of the shift or the last 5 minutes. As evening approaches, the schedule tightens once more. There may be a final drill, marching in close order under floodlights, boots striking the pavement in echoing cadence. Afterwards comes time set aside for study or cleaning personal gear. Our soldier sits on his bunk with a small notebook, reviewing the day's lessons or copying characters as part of language practice. Around him, conversations rise and fall. Someone humming a pop song under their breath, another complaining softly about blisters, a third telling the same joke he's told all week. Lights out doesn't end the day. It pauses it. Lying on his bunk, staring at the underside of the bed above, our private listens to the sounds of the barracks. A cough, a whispered conversation fading, the creak of metal as someone shifts in their sleep. Tomorrow's routine will be almost identical, yet each day nudges him further from civilian life and deeper into the collective identity of a PS soldier. This is a glimpse into a world of extreme discipline, where every minute is accounted for and every action is part of a larger purpose. It's a life dedicated to order, unity, and the nation. What do you think about this kind of daily routine? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you found this look into a soldier's life interesting, please consider subscribing for more content. See you in the next one.